first and foremost here, we get into our first topic, the bombshell of news, that being Scott Cochran, Alabama's longtime tenured assistant under Nick Saban, strength and conditioning coach, director of strength and conditioning, has been with the program since 2007, marked that 13 years. But on today, it was reported by a massive amount of sites that Scott Cochran is in mutual agreement with our head coach Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs to go to Georgia as an on-field coach doing special teams. And right now, the immediate reaction for a lot of you, the Crimson Tide faithful, is, oh no, the sky is falling. What the heck is going on? Nick Saban, what's happening? We can't lose Scott Cochran. Why are we losing Scott Cochran? He's the energy, he's the voice, he's the juice, he's the sound, he's Mr. Yeah. What is going on? Why is Alabama losing this integral part of the program? You have a lot of players, former and current players, who have come out to state their piece on this sucks, this is not right, gonna miss Scott Cochran, wish him the best, but this doesn't feel right. But it has taken place. Scott Cochran, there was a team meeting on today in which I was told that Coach Cochran was not even allowed in the team meeting to tell the players goodbye. So Cochran is about to make this transition to the University of Georgia. And for the longest of time, he has wanted to be an on-field coach. Kirby Smart and Coach Cochran are lifelong friends. They're close friends. Their families are friends with each other. For quite a while now, Kirby Smart has wanted to get Scott Cochran and bring him over to Georgia ever since Coach Smart landed the head coaching job with the Bulldogs in 2016. But Nick Saban has been always able to kind of keep Scott Cochran by his side until this present moment. And Coach Cochran, a big part of the 5 national championships for Alabama, the 6 Southeastern Conference titles, the bevy of top-ranked recruiting classes, but not just that. Cochran played a huge primary role in transforming the bodies of these young men. You know, they come in as boys, but they get on the weight program, they get on the food regimen, and they leave out as fully loaded assault rifles, full-grown men ready to terrorize the National Football League upon getting drafted. I remember one of the more iconic interviews that Scott Cochran had, I think it was 60 Minutes on CBS, where they had the cameras inside the athletic complex, and they were talking with Scott Cochran, and Coach Cochran basically goes, I don't know what my job is here. I mean, these boys coming in as full-blooded Bentleys. I mean, they come in as Mercedes. I just put spinners on them things. That's all I do. It was one of the most iconic interviews, the most iconic talking points that we've ever seen Scott Cochran been on. And he's energetic. He's the large voice. He can be blunt at times. He's the energy. Of course, during the football season, you guys as fans and I myself, in terms of the media, we grew so accustomed to, seeing him, on the sidelines, jumping up and down, holding up the 4 fingers when it's the 4th quarter or when it's 4th down. He has the 4th quarter program. But on top of that, seeing his face, pop up on the screen going, it's 3rd down. I want to make this. I want to hear this be the loudest stadium in the country. Or it's 4th quarter. It's Bama time. It's winning time. Get on your feet. Like, we became used to that. We got used to that. We enjoyed that. That was part of the program. That became a fixture. That became a staple. So right now there is a certain numbness going around with, of course, you the Crimson Tide fans. There's a certain feeling of, why is this happening? If Coach Cochran really wanted an on-field role, why couldn't Coach Saban provide him with that? If there's an issue or a situation to where Alabama could have paid more money to Coach Cochran where he was as a strength and conditioning coach. He was one of the highest paid guys, not the highest paid guy, but with this news coming out, just so much on the spectrum here in terms of what the players think, current and former, and what you, the fans, think. Well, right now, the first question is, what does this mean for Alabama in terms of losing Scott Cochran? Well, you lose somebody that's one of the OGs. He's one of the last remaining, coaches that was a prominent figure at Alabama. At one point in time, you had Scott Cochran, Burton Burns, Bobby Williams. You had all of them. You had 3 to 4, OGs, kind of guys behind the scenes, or even those that had an on-field coaching role. They were on the scene, and they were with Nick Saban. They were right by his side, so to speak. So, with Burton Burns gone and Bobby Williams gone, and, of course, Bo Davis had left, and now with, Scott Cochran making his way out, there's another one of those prominent faces that these players are used to seeing, because people don't see Nick Saban. Players don't see Nick Saban every day. They don't see Coach Saban every day. They don't even see their respective position coach every day. Scott Cochran was there every day. He was there opening up the weight room with the keys. He would talk to players if they needed somebody to talk to about football stuff, about just how to be a man, how to, develop in my life. If I'm having girlfriend problems, I talk to Scott Cochran. If I was having, problems in my schoolwork, players would talk to Scott Cochran. If I had problems, in my personal family life, I would go talk to Scott Cochran. Anything these players had going on that was very important in their life, to where they felt like, I can't speak with Coach Saban, or I can't speak with my position coach, or I can't even speak to one of my brothers on the team, they would pull up a chair and they would talk to Scott Cochran, because they knew that he was always there. They knew that they could always trust him, depend on him, rely on him to give a listening ear and tune into whatever the conversation may be. So that right there is a big portion of it, a big part of it, of what that means in terms of him leaving. He was such a big face around the program. So that's number one. Another reason as to what this means for the program is, who do you get to replace that? Who do you get to fill in for Scott Cochran, because of what he did, not just in terms of the work of the weight room program or the fourth quarter program or on the field, but also in the community. Him and his wife, Miss Sissy Cochran, they had the 5K program, and they had the 10K program, and they did so much around the area of Tuscaloosa and surrounding areas. So who do you go out there and get? Who do you hire, whether it's within the program or whether it's outside the program, that can give you that type, or not even that type, but close to what Coach Cochran gave you in terms of making sure these young men are not only in the tip-top physical condition, both upper body and lower body, but making sure these young men have that mindset to, when you're on the football field, you are a mean, lean, killing machine. You are out there ripping guys off. You are out there knocking guys down. You are out there imposing your physical will and having that mentality of, if I can get through Coach so-and-so's weight program, right? If I can get through Coach so-and-so's fourth quarter training, if I can get through what Coach so-and-so is putting me through on a regular basis, whether I'm at this weight station, I'm doing this power clean, I'm running suicides, I'm doing 110s, I'm doing all of these things I'm supposed to do that's making me physically sick to my stomach, regardless of the weight class that you're in. If I can get through what this coach is putting me through, then going on the field and being dominant and being exceptional, that's going to be second nature for me. I mean, you have a lot of these former players that talk about, man, the NFL, that ain't nothing, man. That's booty cheeks compared to what we did at Bama. Practices in the NFL practices ain't nothing. Like at Bama, did you see the heck Scott Cochran put us through? Man, I wanted to quit day one. All this stuff he had us doing with the weights and with the 110s and with, the power cleaning and with the squatting and all that stuff Coach C put us through. We running up and down stadium steps, carrying jugs of water and whatnot. All that stuff Cochran put us through. I mean, NFL ain't nothing compared to that. NFL is cake to us. So having that mindset of you can battle through any and everything, being able to hire somebody from within or bringing somebody from the outside part of the program that can emulate that or can replicate that or duplicate that to some extent of the imagination. That's got to be, what next? Where do you go to from here? And then I guess my third point, when you look at Scott Cochran and this news that comes out is, how will Alabama be able to continue, I guess, how would Alabama be able to continue just the motivation of it all? Because the motivation that Scott Cochran gave, to these players, I remember going back to one of the videos he put up on Twitter about how where we have been, that's not where it's at anymore. It's where we're going. What we're trying to do moving forward, what we're trying to do in the future, what we're trying to do in the present in terms of this upcoming season, what we're trying to accomplish, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to master, that's the important thing. So where do you find the motivation from here? Can you have somebody that can put forth the same regiment, the same training, the same idea, the same mindset, and then the first part, and most importantly, the first thing I mentioned, can you find that coach that, has that connection, that affection with the players to where even when you can't get to Coach Saban, or even when you can't get to a position coach, or even when you feel like you're going through something that not even you can conversate or talk to with your own brothers on the team, there's that coach, much like a Scott Cochran, that will pull up a chair and being like, young man, let's have a rap session. What's on your mind, man? Tell me. Talk to me, brother. Talk to me, son. What's up? Is it the home? Is it girlfriend? Is it troubles on the field? Tell me what's going on. I'm trying to help you. So right now, for a lot of the Crimson Tide fan base, it's what's going on. Why is Scott Cochran leaving out of the program? Why couldn't Alabama or head coach Nick Saban get him a better on-the-field opportunity if he wanted to be on the field? Just that bombshell of news which is going on at Alabama. Strength and conditioning coach Scott Cochran headed to the Georgia Bulldogs to be an on-field coach in special teams. But we're going to take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial, folks. Just getting started. When we get back, we'll dive into your phone calls, thoughts, questions, and concerns right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Make sure to subscribe before it's too late and get our new freshly printed end of the year magazine issue. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.